subscribers. We are doing this one a little bit earlier today. We've brought it forward from the live 3 p.m. kickoff, and of course it will be available immediately after to watch back. It's the 1975 Eastern Suburbs Roosters up against the 1990 Canberra Raiders. And as we said, doing it a little bit earlier today, so if you are a subscriber, you would have got a little notification then that we are live, and it's from the Sydney Cricket Ground. Let's go through the two teams for the Roosters. Fairfax is the fullback, Pickett and Mullins are on the wings, Brass and Mark Harris are the centres, Johnny Peard, Johnny Mays are the halves, Mackay, Walters, Hedger is the front row, Beatson, Coote, Stevens, and the bench, Schubert, Reinberger, Riley and O'Reilly. Well, for the Raiders of 1990, their team, Gary Belcher's the fullback, Martin and Ferguson are the wingers, Meninga and Daly are the centres, O'Sullivan and Stewart are the halves, the front row for Canberra, Todd, Walters and Glenn Lazarus. The back row, Nigel Gaffey, Gary Coyne and Lance. The bench, Wood, Carey, Bellamy and Barnhill. It's a very light bench for the Raiders and pretty similar bench for the Roosters. So let's get ready to go. Sunday afternoon footy from the Sydney Cricket Ground. If you want to follow us on Twitter at the 81st Minute, through the Facebook channel, the 81st Minute Rugby League, the81stminute.com, and the Top of the Props podcast, which is available through iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. And we are almost set to go. Sunday footy at the Sydney Cricket Ground, if you don't mind. It's the 75 Eastern Suburbs Roosters up against the Canberra Raiders of 1990. Raiders out in the field. And here come the Roosters. Famously in 75, hammered the Dragons 38-0. There's Arthur Beatson. And we are ready to go. How good does that look? I know it's PS4 and it's simulation footy, but we're underway. It'll be the Roosters running to the south in the first half. Lazarus will bring it back. And he's brought down now. First play of the game. Todd. So Beatson in the second row. We have seen in these fantasy games positional changes throughout the match. It'll be interesting to see if Beatson does get moved to the middle at some point. Ball goes away to Laurie Daly in the number 4. He's down over halfway, but Fairfax makes the tackle. And a penalty against Fairfax on the last play. The Raiders will go on the attack early here. We have named Fairfax in the team, along with Harris. They both missed the grand final in 75. And the Raiders open the scoring. The Roosters haven't touched the ball yet. Walters out of dummy half, goes himself, brought down. He's only 5 metres away now. The Raiders spinning out to the left-hand side. O'Sullivan. Last play, one more for the Canberra team. It's back to Ricky Stewart. Grubbers for the in-goal, hits the post. Ricochets off one, it's picked up by Gary Belcher. And he's lost the ball. Well, Gary Belcher, he'd dive on that 99 times out of 100. Maybe 100 out of 100. But that time, referees found a mistake. Beats him, gets around one. Downfield goes Big Artie. And the Roosters dodge a bullet very early in this game. Stevens. Walters the dummy half. They spin it out to their left. Mackay brought down. So a good set of 6 coming out of trouble there for Eastern Suburbs. Brass will kick downfield. Taken by Belcher. Very flat pass there to Todd, who we saw last night playing for the Gold Coast Seagulls in Saturday night football. Walters straight down the middle of the field. Gets right around Fairfax. And they're going to go to the video referee again. Fairfax came very late. But Steve Walters might have opened the scoring here. It looks like he's got the ball down in the shadows of the SCG. And he showed some toe there, Steve Walters. And and we've got a try. So green light for the green machine, and Steve Walters opens the scoring. Makes the bust down the middle of the field, and Fairfax flat-footed, couldn't match it with him. And Meninga makes it 6-0. High shot now, beats it on Lazarus. So, 2 penalties against the Roosters, 1 against Fairfax, now 1 against Beatson, off the kick-off. And again, another piggyback down the field for Canberra. Ferguson. Look at the toe from Ferguson. There's a blindside play from Daly. And the Raiders on a roll here. Lazarus. 3 tackles gone, settling play, centre of the field. Belcher, Stewart, Ferguson again, away from 1. Brought down this time by Fairfax. 4 tackles played now. Stewart, Coyne, away to Belcher, inside ball, goes to Lazarus. Can he get there himself, the big man? Held up by Beatson. Last one now, Stewart, he's going to bomb for the in goal. They're coming through Canberra. Knocked back, taken by Martin. Has he got it down? He has. It's another try for the 1990 Canberra Raiders. And I think the knockback from Mal Meninga's set this try up. Meninga came through. Beautiful tap back, taken on the full by Martin. And he dives over in the corner, 10-0 to Canberra. Meninga 2 metres in from touch. Strikes it, he likes it, and it's over the black dot. It's an early lead here, 12-0. Canberra lead the 75 Roosters. Todd. The Roosters just need a result in this set. They need to get to the last and force a kick from Canberra and get into this arm wrestle. Lance. Coyne. Last play. Better stuff from the Chooks. Fairfax. So that's a win for Eastern Suburbs. They start this set inside the Canberra half. Hedger. Brought down by Todd. Fairfax. Peared. He had Beatson on his outside. 4 tackles done. They miss out Beatson this time. Goes away to Pickett. Gets the pass on the inside. I thought he was away then, Pickett. But he gave the pass. Back to Peared. Taken by Gary Belcher. And it's Beatson again. So Beatson trying to fire his team up. Todd got away from 1. Sunday afternoon footy on the 81st minute YouTube channel. Walters. Last play now. Very light benches for both sides. Canberra carrying 2 wingers, a utility in Bellamy and a back rower in Barnhill. Penalty against O'Sullivan. So the Roosters now are going to kick the touch through Mays. Coop. Walters out of dummy half. So Walters versus Walters, no relation. For the respective dummy halves. Mackay forced back in the tackle. Pickett in from his wing. It's the last play. And that's a poor set. They only made 4 metres. That's forward. Forward pass, so a bit of pressure now on the Raiders. And Eastern Suburbs looking for first points. Fairfax. They go across the line, away to Peard. He gets away from one. That was Coyne. He's down to the 10. Peard. Walters out of dummy half. 3 tackles gone. Mays. They've wasted a few plays here, the Roosters. Long ball across the line, away to Peard. Can he get across the line himself? He can. So Peard with the hit back. The little number 6 gets the try. And it's 12-4 with the kick to come. Look at the man who scored the try. Try to add the extras. And he does. So 12-6. The 1990 Raiders lead the 75 Roosters. Here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Hedger with the kick return. Peard. Daly misses the tackle from first marker. Slow play the ball. Beats him. Tips it away now to Pickett. Last play. Brass with the kick. Hooks it back across. And it's not much of a kick in the end from Brass. And Martin's back into the Roosters half. Lance down the middle of the field. Fairfax took his time coming up. They're only 11 metres away here, Canberra. O'Sullivan. Long ball across the line, away to Malmaninga. They'll do well to stop him. And that's great defence that time from Bill Mullins. Strong defence on the try line from the Roosters. Last play now. O'Sullivan with the bomb. They've already got 1 try today from the kick. This one's taken on the full by Artie Beatson. O'Reilly's on for the Roosters. Barnhill's on for Canberra. Beatson. Peard. Stevens. So Canberra aiming up defensively here. Beatson's lost the ball. I don't think he was expecting it. Walters has thrown a bullet to his chest and Beatson's got his hands to it, but he couldn't control it. Another opportunity here for the Raiders. Todd. Very flat ball to O'Sullivan. Almost 20 minutes gone here at the SCG. Lazarus brought down. Coyne's away. He's almost to the try line. He loses the ball. Great work from Fairfax. Beats him down the middle of the field now. So the Roosters, they do have Schubert on the bench. He can cover several positions in the back line or at the back of the scrum. Peared. Kicks downfield now. Taken by Belcher. And again, it's Arthur Beetson leading the race downfield. Todd. Lazarus, and again, Beetson there to meet the brick with eyes. This is turning into quite the arm wrestle. And the Roosters come up with the ball. The Raiders force their play. Knocked down and picked up by Eastern Suburbs. They'll go on the counter-attack through Brass. Gets away from one. He's got Daly chasing. But Brass will get there and score the Roosters second. Well, it all came from the Raiders' mistake. Ferguson was chasing too. He needed to make a play. He was staying on his man on the outside. And he probably thought Daly had him covered. You can see there Ferguson. Well, Ferguson should have come across to make the tackle, but Brass scores. And we could have a 12-all scoreline in a matter of moments if Peard can throw this over. Strikes it. Doesn't hit it that hard. Doesn't need to. It's gone straight over. So we've got a 12-all score in Sunday afternoon rugby league on the 81st Minute YouTube channel. Craig Bellamy's on for Canberra. And Beetson gets a spell on the sidelines. Big start of the game from Arthur. And he'll be back very soon. Mackay. Plenty of other games to check out on the 81st Minute YouTube channel, including some, well, they're all been good games this weekend, including last night's game between the Seagulls and the Crushers. Stevens got away from Stewart. Coyne and Daly come in to finish him off. 40 metres made in that set. Mays with the kick. Martin, one of the try scorers for Canberra, brings it back now. And Sullivan. Todd. Steve Walters at dummy half. They go to the right hand side. Ricky Stewart slices through, gets the pass away to Coyne. Had Daly with him. Decides to take the tackle instead. Daly, first receiver. They go back to centre field. Belcher away from two. And Fairfax drags him down a metre away. Last tackle now. Stewart, he chips it for the in goal. They're coming through, but taking it is Johnny Mays. It was a smart little kick from Stewart. Pickett, he's found some space downfield. Brass. O'Reilly, Mackay. Peared again. Daly comes in and squashes the 5'8". Martin with the kick return. 12-all. The 1990 Raiders and the 75 Roosters at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Coyne. He's having some luck on this side of the field. The number 12. Belcher comes to Fairfax. He runs right around him, but Fairfax does very nicely. I thought Belcher had him. Todd with the short ball to O'Sullivan. Nice work from the front row to the 5'8". Meninga's going to kick. Taken by Fairfax, and he runs straight at Big Mal. Mays. Walters. So last play And both teams holding their own defensively. And we have seen in some other games some very high scores, a lot of points. Todd plays it back on his side of halfway. Steve Walters out of dummy half. And he's taken by his namesake Elwyn. Lazarus with the inside ball to Stewart. 4 tackles gone, 40 metres away. They spin it to the right hand side. Coyne again. And it's the last one now. Another attacking kick coming up for Canberra. Ricky Stewart runs at the line. Grubbers comes off a Rooster. It's picked up by O'Reilly. Fairfax might have lost the ball here. He has. Lazarus wrestled with him and took the ball away. Great work from Lazarus, the front rower. Now Canberra with another opportunity to take that lead back. Bellamy. Todd. Barnhill. Inside ball to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan doing a lot of support work. Running off his big men. Meninga's the dummy half. Long ball across the line. Lazarus gets away from one. Offloads down to Steve Walters. We're 11 metres away. Stewart bombs for the in goal. Fairfax coming through. No pressure on him. And Arthur Beatson's back on the field. And it looks like Big Artie's going to play a bit of dummy half here. I don't know how much of that he did in his career, but Walters needs a rest on the sideline, so Artie Beatson's gone in to dummy half. O'Reilly hit hard in a tackle from Daly. Last one now, goes back to Peard. The kick to Belcher, and he's straight down the middle of the field, almost back to halfway. And Steve Walters, he's away downfield again. There's no one chasing. He's only got the front rower behind him. And Steve Walters, one of the great dummy halves to ever play the game. He splits the Roosters straight up the middle. And Fairfax, he was up in the line, the fullback. And Walters pushed him away. And he had open space after that. Try number 2 for Steve Walters. And the Raiders have that lead back. They lead by 4 with a kick to come. So it's been a big difference between the two sides so far. Is the opportunity Steve Walters has created through the ruck for Canberra. Elwyn Walters for the Roosters hasn't been able to do the same. And at the moment they've got Big Arthur Beatson shoveling the ball out of dummy half. Daly. Barnhill. Here he goes again. Walk down this time. Good defence from Mackay. Ferguson. Last play. Almost half time here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Fairfax with the kick return. Brought down on the 40. And the Roosters get one back before half time. Goes away to Ronnie Coote. They hit the blind again through Harris. The big unit Mark Harris in the number 4. Fairfax. Hedger plays it back now. Last tackle. Mays kicks for the in goal. Belcher's very deep. And he's going to play it inside his own 10. Good chase from the Roosters. Gaffey. Stewart. Ricky Stewart's down to halfway. To the 40. My apologies. Barnhill. So the game opening up a little bit here. It'll be worst case news here for the Roosters if they give away another one just before the break. Pretty fair scoreline at the moment. Fairfax. Beatson's the dummy half. They go to the left-hand side, away to Johnny Peard. Again, Daly's been very strong defensively on that side of the field. Pickett. Brass. Well, I think the Roosters are happy to go to half-time. The Raiders probably hungry for another shot here. Another deep kick coming. It's Harris this time, who does have a big boot on him. So can the Raiders manufacture something right on half-time? Daly beats Pickett, all ends up. Beats Fairfax. And Brass, luckily, is there to make the tackle. Maybe two more plays here. Stewart. Well, they're too far out for a field goal. Travis Norton kicked one last time for the Crushers. Daly, this will be it. He's through, Laurie Daly. Comes to Fairfax, beats him. But Peard is there with Stevens, and that's half-time. Half-time here, it's the 1990 Canberra Raiders leading the 75 Eastern Suburbs Roosters 18 points to 12. And we'll quickly look at the half-time stats. Completion rates, pretty even Stevens. The Raiders, the time in possession, a little bit more. Penalties conceded, only 2 for the Eastern Suburbs side, but it's when they gave those penalties away. One against Fairfax, another against Beatson. The missed tackles, 16 all. And Canberra with a few more line breaks. Canberra, Steve Walters, 2 great tries. Martin got the other one. Meninga, 3 from 3. While for the 1975 Eastern Suburbs Roosters, Peard and Brass have got the tries. Johnny Peard, 2 from 2. We'll look at the fantasy points in the first half. And you can see there the Roosters, have only used one of their replacements. Schubert, Reinberger and Bunny Riley still to get on the field. Johnny Peard and Brass leading the way for the Chooks. Steve Walters, of course, best on ground so far. We'll take a short break. Keep an eye on the screen, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. It's Sunday afternoon footy, a little bit earlier today on our YouTube channel, but obviously you can watch back at any time. We'll be back shortly with the second half from the Sydney Cricket Ground. And welcome back to the second half. Sunday afternoon football on the 81st Minute YouTube channel from the Sydney Cricket Ground. You're with Curtis Woodward, and we're about to get underway with the second stanza of play. It is the 1975 Roosters up against the 1990 Raiders. If you want to follow us on Twitter at the 81st Minute, through our Facebook channel, the 81st Minute Rugby League, the 81stminute.com, and the Top of the Props podcast, which is available on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. And we're ready to go second half. 18-12. And a little shout out to my beautiful fiance. It's her birthday tomorrow. Happy 45th birthday, Tebra. Goes away to Hedger, brings her back. I don't even know how old she is. 32? 33? 34. Harris, downfield. Brought down. Beecham's still at dummy half. So we should see Walters come back onto the field and Beats and slide back in to the second row, but it's being wasted a little bit at the moment offensively. Hedger. Coote, he's got some space now. Ronnie Coote's down the field. Brought down 20 away. Fantastic set to start the second half from Eastern Suburbs. Mays with the kick. Taken though by Steve Walters. And Boxhead will play it. What a nickname. Boxhead. Laurie Daly. It's better than what Tepra calls me. She calls me Melonhead. Barnhill. An earlier Sunday Arvo game today, live for our subscribers and our viewers on YouTube. But of course, you can watch it back later on, which most of you will, so thanks for watching, and check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. Fairfax, as we saw at half-time, Schubert, Reinberger and Riley, Bunny Riley, yet to be used yet. Johnny Mays, Fairfax, Mackay, brought down. Some space out here, overlap, away to Ronnie Coote, he's down to the 40, comes to Belcher, gets around him, all ends up, down to the 10, and Ron Coote scores the try. Well, he's a dead set legend of the game, and he does it all himself, space on the right-hand side, and it's a 40-metre run to the, 60 I think, close to 60. Ron Coote, try time, at the northern end of the SCG, and Johnny Peard with the chance to make it 18 all. And he converts. So 18 all it is. The Roosters and the Raiders. Horrible start of the game for the Roosters. Fairfax gave away a penalty in the first set. Stevens. Coote, another break for the second rower. Down to the 40. Beatson, short ball away to Fairfax. He's away, Fairfax. Great ball from Arthur Beatson. And it's a different looking side with Beatson at dummy half. It looks like he's still controlling the play. Yeah, that kick might go dead from Mays. It does. So Beatson started the game out on the left edge in the second row. I guess one thing him playing dummy half is he can play both sides of the field and get his hands on the ball whenever he wants. Penalty against the Roosters. Todd. With Sullivan. Away to Meninga. He hasn't had much footy, the big fella. And Fairfax does very, very well there. Todd, 20 metres away, the Raiders. Walters at a dummy half. He's looking for a hat-trick. The Australian dummy half. Last play now, Ricky Stewart with the bomb. Coming through, there's pressure there. Taken by Belcher. Can he get the football down? There's 3 Roosters there. It doesn't matter, he still gets it down. There were 3 Roosters around him. He went up for the ball, Belcher. He took it. I didn't think he was going to get it down. But have a look at this. 1, 2, 3. And they can't hold him up. And just like that, the Raiders have the lead again. Now Meninga. He converts. It almost hits the crossbar, that kickoff. Beatson comes down and meets Lazarus again. That's about the 5th time Beatson's gone one-on-one with Lazarus. Got him high early in the first half. Got him right across the chops. And O'Sullivan again in a support play role. Martin brought down on halfway. Bellamy smashed in the tackle. Last one now, 51 metres made. And that set of 6 goes back to Meninga. He's going to kick downfield. Fairfax is there, back to his 30. And he's brought down now by Ricky Stewart. Stevens. Beatson, short ball away to Mackay. Fairfax. Brought down, not much doing at the moment here for East. Beatson, they shift it back to their left. Mackay will play it on the last tackle. Beatson looks up, he'll go to his left. It's Johnny Peard. He kicks downfield on the full, taken by Belcher. Gaffey. Todd. Away now to Bellamy. He's found some spacing behind the Roosters. And he'll play the ball now 27 metres away from the try line, the southern end of the FCG. As Sullivan kicks back across the ruck. It's going to be taken by Pickett. And he's out over the 10 and brought down. Stevens. Beatson. Mays brought down. Last tackle. Peard. Pretty quick game. We haven't had many stoppages. And it's a 6-point lead for the 1990 Raiders. Four tackles gone. Meninga shifts it back to centre field. Bellamy. He'll play it on halfway. O'Sullivan will kick. Fairfax gets the ball, gets away from one. Moving a holding pattern at the moment, this game. And O'Reilly down the middle of the field, gets away from one, gets away from Belcher. Ricky Stewart's chasing, I think he'll get him. That's a great run though from O'Reilly. And here come the Roosters. They spin it to the left-hand side. Peard. They're only 5 away. Beatson. Long ball back across. They might score. Fairfax. He gets it down. Great vision from Arthur Beatson. Fantastic ball from the big man out of dummy half. Look at that. He beats 4 Raiders defenders. And Fairfax gets the try. Kidd on next to the post to make it 24 all. Converts it. And we've got an even game again. After Beetson gets another break, Walters comes back on. That'll be a straight swap this time. And Gary Coyne's on for Craig Bellamy. Well, I don't know how long they can keep Beetson off the field. Coop. Edger.
Let him go. 3. Hands away.
Harris, the big man through now. The number 4, he's down the field. He's over halfway. Brought down by Martin. Belcher was there as well. A metre in from touch. On the eastern side of the ground. Mays. Stewart. Coyne. The Raiders rolling here. Good set of 6. Stewart again. Playing very direct at the moment. Canberra. Now they spin it to their left. O'Sullivan. Taken by Ron Coote. That'll be the last tackle. Head in the air from the referee. Meninga's going to kick this time, and that one does a stand-up in goal. It's going to be taken by Fairfax, but he does beautifully, and he's back on the field of play. He makes another 11 or 12 metres. Coote.
Hands away.
Coote. Brought down on 4 tackles, inside their own 40. Sunday afternoon rugby league on the 81st Minute YouTube channel. You're with Curtis Woodward. If you want to follow us on Twitter at the 81st Minute, the Facebook page, the 81st Minute Rugby League, the81stminute.com, and the top of the Props podcast, which is available on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean. Steve Walters has been amazing today for the Canberra team. Some space out here on the left. It goes away to Meninga. He's one-on-one with Fairfax. But the fullback does nicely again. Walters out at dummy half, hat-trick. Well, the Roosters thought they were going to go open. Steve Walters looked up and he said, I might have a cheeky shot down the blind side. And the Roosters all went the other way. Steve Walters has number 3. And what an afternoon he's having. Meninga converts. Six-point game, 20 minutes to play. Bellamy. Looks like Bellamy's going to play some prop. Oh, Glenn Lazarus, he's done. He's got a dislocated shoulder. His afternoon's work is complete. And Todd comes back onto the field. There's a way to Barnhill. Walters looking for number 4. Steve Walters is down to the 30, the 20, the 10. They'll catch him. He almost had 4 then, the dummy half. Meninga from dummy half. He'll be tough to stop. They do so though. And now it's the last play. O'Sullivan, chip kicks for the in goal. It's taken by Martin and he gets it down. Beautiful kick from O'Sullivan. A little chip kick over the top into the in goal. If you don't mind, have a look at that. Nice touch. Martin gets the try. And with Beatson off the field, he set up the last try to make it 24 all. And the Roosters replace him, and the Raiders have gone back to back. Meninga converts again, 36-24. Time running out here for the 75 Roosters. Bellamy. Steve Walters, 3 tries, almost had a 4th. Great game from him. He's been best on ground. Beatson's probably been the best for the Roosters. Meninga, downfield again. And the Roosters are barely holding on now. Last play, Walters loses a play down the blind side. Fairfax now will come up from fullback, takes it. They need a try very soon here, the Chooks. Flat ball to Hedger. Slow play the ball. Fairfax, Stevens, beats one, down to the 40, brought down now. 3 tackles played. Mays. Walters out of dummy half, that's Elwyn Walters, no relation to Steve. Peard now kicks. Taken by Chicka Ferguson on the full. And Arthur Beatson's back out there, and it looks like he's going to finish the game in the front row. So he's played left edge, he's played hooker today, and he's going to play some front row. Can Big Arthur get the Roosters over the line? Not if Steve Walters got anything to say about it. Another big run from him. Oh, high shot there on Martin, that's a penalty. Brought him across the ear, that one. Seen a few of them today from the 75 Roosters. So 12-point lead. Any more points here for the Raiders and that could be it. Walters out of dummy half. Brought down, right in front of the sticks, 15 metres away. Inside ball, goes back to Gaffey. He's going to play it, they're only half a metre away. Goes across to Ricky Stewart. Somehow they stop him at the line. One more to defend here. O'Sullivan, he's going to go himself and he's brought down by Beatson. And the Roosters survive. Mackay. Beatson. Riley downfield, up to halfway. He had Mark Harris with him, but he decides to take the tackle. Stevens. 4 tackles done. They go back to the right hand side, goes away to Riley, beats another one. And that's the last tackle, 40 metres away. Mays. Taken by Ferguson. The Roosters need a result here. They need to force a mistake, somehow get the ball back in some good field position. Gaffey. Martin gets away from one, but he's going to be forced back in the tackle. Barnhill. Last play. Good defensive set from East. Fairfax. Almost back to halfway. Sets up the set of 6 here. Ten minutes to play here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Beatson. Strong defence that time from Canberra. It's a nothing set there from the Roosters. Martin brought down. Go to the left, Meninga. Four tackles done. They're 41 metres away. Unites it. They've lost the ball. Goes away to Mackay. The big front row is downfield. Well, here's their chance for the 75 Roosters. Inside the 40. Beatson gets away from one. Down to the 20 he goes. Riley was with him in support. Gets up now the big fella. Fairfax. And again, they're just wasting a few tackles here, the Roosters. 4 tackles done. They're 15 out. There's a way to Peard. Good defence from Ricky Stewart. Last play now. Like the last play, the front rower's got it, Mackay, and it's going to be a handover. Well, that was not the play. They needed a kick, they needed something. And the big front rower found himself with the ball on the last, and he did anything he knew what to do, and that was to run it straight. Daly, the ball inside, beats and takes O'Sullivan down. Martin. O'Sullivan with the 40-20 attempt. Fairfax, a great position. He's almost thrown over the sideline. Mullen centre field. It's the pass away to Mays. And that's forward. So that's the game. Forward pass from the Roosters. Been a great game of football. And the Raiders today, the difference. S. Walters, the 9. Daly into dummy half. There's a way to Craig Bellamy. Barnhill. Meninga. Martin brought down. Had a good day, the winger, 2 tries. Daly goes back to O'Sullivan, kicks for the in goal. And that one will roll dead. So they'll need a miracle. They'll need a try off this set of 6. The Roosters, if they're any chance. 12-point lead with a couple of minutes to play. They need a Mark Harris, someone like that. And there he is, Mark Harris, down to the 40. Up to halfway comes to Belcher. Good defence from the fullback. Riley. Space out to the open side. Beatson. Flat ball to Stevens. 4 tackles done. Beatson again. Kick downfield. It's taken by Ferguson. And I think he's run it dead. I think his back foot hit the line. It has. Drop out for Canberra. So, a tiny, tiny people's light at the end of the tunnel for the Roosters, but they need one right now. Beats him 30 metres away. Gets up and plays it. Walters is the dummy half. Long ball across to Harris. Straight through the centre. Comes to Belcher. Palms him off. Comes to the in goal. Can he get it down? He's over the sideline. He's dead in goal. What a play from Canberra. Big Mark Harris, he was away. He got away from Belcher. And little Paul Martin holds him up. Can he get it down? Elbow. His elbow goes over. And Martin, what an effort on Mark Harris. Phil Carey's on the field very late here for Canberra. And Steve Walters, he's got the 3 tries, so that's probably play of the day there from Paul Martin, the little winger. Last tackle. A minute to play. Goes down to Fairfax. Schubert on the field. Way to Hedger. The 1990 Canberra Raiders, they'll beat the 75 Roosters today. Away to Riley. Down the field he goes. Comes to Belcher. Brought down. One last play. The siren will go. Hedger passes inside. Intercepted by Meninga. And that's the game. Full time. And the Raiders win by 12 points here at the SCG. Full time. The 1990 Raiders have beaten the 75 Roosters 36 points to 24. Man of the match, of course, Steve Walters. Steve Walters, he got 3. Martin 2 tries. Gary Belcher got the other. Mal Meninga 6 from 6. Well, for the Roosters, Coote, Peard, Fairfax and Brass. Peard 4 from 4. And Russell Fairfax. Great job at the back in the fantasy points, but if you look at the presence and the little touches after beats and a class above for the Roosters. Well, for the Raiders, have a look at that. That's the first time we've seen a player go over 200 fantasy points. 2-3-1 for Steve Walters, Ricky Stewart and Gary Belcher. Fantastic as well. Thanks for watching today. Sunday afternoon footy. And you can catch us next week with another 4 games, all available through the 81st Minute YouTube channel. I've been Curtis Woodward. We'll speak to you then.